So, you're thinking about moving, studying, or working abroad in an English-speaking country. Then you've definitely come across this one word, IELTS. It's the test that can open up a world of possibilities. New schools, new jobs, a whole new life. And today, we're going to crack the code on exactly how it all works.
And let's be real, if you're getting ready to take it, you might be feeling, well, a little overwhelmed. It's a huge test. And some parts, like that academic reading section, whoa. It's notoriously tricky, and you really need a game plan to beat it.
But hey, that's why we're here. We're going to break this whole thing down piece by piece so you know exactly what you're up against. All right, let's get into it.
Okay, first things first. What even is IELTS? Well, the long name is the International English Language Testing System. But honestly, just think of it as your global passport for English. It's the test that shows universities, companies, and even governments that, yeah, you can communicate in English, no problem.
Now, right off the bat, you've got a big decision to make. Which test is for you? You've got two flavors, academic and general training. Academic is pretty much what it sounds like, for university or getting registered in a profession. General training, that's more for things like migration or maybe some work or training programs. Basically, what you want to do decides which test you take. The whole shebang takes just under 3 hours. And listen, the order is always the same. It's listening, then reading, then writing. Bam, bam, bam. The speaking part is kind of the odd one out. It's a separate interview. It might be on the same day, but it could also be a few days before or after your main test. All right, let's break down that order. First up, the listening test.
So you're going to hear 4 different recordings, and they definitely ramp up in difficulty. Part 1 might be something simple, like someone booking a hotel room, but by part 4, you're listening to a full-on academic lecture. And here's the catch, and it's a big one. You only hear it once, no replays. So you have to be totally locked in. You'll get a bunch of different question types, but a classic one looks just like this. It's multiple choice, and your mission really is just to catch that one specific detail from the audio. Sounds easy, but remember, you only heard it once. Okay, so after about 40 minutes of that intense listening, your ears get a break, but then you move straight into what I'd call the marathon section of the test, reading. You get 60 minutes on the dot. In that hour, you've got to read 3 long, dense articles and answer 40 questions. But here is the absolute most critical thing to remember. Unlike the listening test, you get 0 extra time at the end to transfer your answers. You have to write them on your answer sheet as you find them. Time management is everything here. And it's not just about reading fast. What really makes this section a beast is the sheer variety of questions they throw at you. You've got to match headings, fill in the blanks, and then there's the infamous true, false, or not given questions. They're super tricky, and each type of question needs a totally different strategy. Okay, so you survive the reading marathon. Phew. But there's no time to rest because you've got to switch your brain into a completely different mode for the writing test. And this one's a 2-parter. So for task 1, this is where things split depending on which test you're taking. If you're doing academic, you'll get a visual, a graph, a chart, something like that. You've got 20 minutes to describe what you see. For general test takers, it's different. You'll write a letter, like complaining about something or asking for information. So for an academic test taker, you might see a bar chart just like this one. Now, listen closely. Your job is not to be an economist and explain why this happened. Nope. Your only job is to be a reporter. You just describe what the chart shows. What are the main trends? What's the highest point, the lowest? Just the facts. All right, then comes the main event, task 2. This one's the same for everybody. It's a full-blown essay. You get 40 minutes, and you've got to write at least 250 words. They'll give you a topic, maybe an argument like this one, and you have to build a case, discuss both sides, and make sure you give your own clear opinion. And last, but definitely not least, we come to the part of the test where you actually talk to a real live human, the speaking interview. Now, don't panic. It's a structured chat with an examiner, and it's over in about 15 minutes. And even though they're definitely grading your fluency and vocab,
It's designed to feel more like a real conversation than some kind of scary interrogation.
Part 1 is just the warm-up. Super simple. The examiner will ask you easy questions about you. Where are you from? Do you work or study? What do you do for fun? Stuff like that. It's really just to break the ice and get you talking.
Then comes part 2, what they call the long turn. Here's how it works. They hand you a card with a topic on it. You get exactly 1 minute to prep, and then you have to talk about that topic for 1 to 2 minutes, straight, no interruptions. And that's it. That's the entire test, from start to finish. We've covered the what, so now for the big question. How do you actually succeed? What's the game plan?
Look, success on this test isn't magic. It's all about having a smart strategy. Of course, you need to build your vocabulary. And yeah, you need to learn techniques like skimming and scanning. But here's the real secret sauce. You have to take full timed practice tests. And this is the most important part. After every single one, you need to go back and analyze every mistake. Why did you get it wrong? Understanding that is literally the fastest way to improve.
So at the end of the day, you can see that the IELTS isn't some impossible mountain. It's more like a series of hills, and you can tackle them one by one. Now you've seen the whole layout, you know the structure. The mystery is gone. And that means you can start your preparation not with fear, but with a real plan and with confidence.